Morning everybody, I hope you're safe and well. It's interesting times that we keep saying that, eh? All the conversations end and start, I hope you're safe and well. Wow, who would have thought last year, or even 6 months ago, it would ever be like this? But we are where we are and we'll have to deal with it, I suppose. Okay, today, day 4. Day 4 of my 30-day challenge. I've brought notes. Predominantly to keep me on track so I didn't waffle forever. So, day 4, I'm going to talk about one of my properties that I had previously, what I did with it, what it taught me, and I'm going to talk about indicators, KPIs, key performance indicators in property investment. Everybody talks about gross yield all the time, and I'll talk about that at the end. Why gross yield isn't really that important. There's other indicators that are more important as far as I'm concerned in property investment and return. Hi Mark, how you doing? Morning. Okay, my third property that I had, past tense. So, bought that, familiar story to yesterday actually, bought that one, and subsequently 8 years later sold it for triple the price. Probably made about, gross rent's 34,000. A lot of that went back into refurb though. I did put double glazing in it, put a new kitchen in it, put a new shower room in it. Morning. Put a new shower room in it. Hi Joe. And I carpeted and decorated it all myself. All myself. Would you believe that? I laid the carpets myself. I painted and decorated it myself. And this is what I want to talk about, the importance of teams. Learn your lesson by me, yeah? I worked in industry, and I spoke about it before as a financial controller and financial director, and I probably worked about 168 hours a week. Yeah, I never stopped. I remember doing budgets on Christmas Day in my wee office at home to make sure I was in a position to, when we came back, because we were getting taken over by a PLC at the time, ceramics business, and they wanted all the budgets when we came back from holiday. So I started actually at the beginning of December. I spent most of my time for the whole of December, including Christmas Day, New Year's Day, doing budgets and forecasting and financing to make sure we were on track for the beginning of the year. But this is how I ate into all my time. And when I was doing in buy-to-let, I'm doing buy-to-let, and I still am, and in property investment, I spent a lot of my time painting and decorating. And in hindsight, I thought, that was crazy. Now, at the time, I thought, I'm a tight person. I'll no part with a penny most of the time. It's a typical Scotsman. But the thing I'd learnt the most is, if you can make more money doing what you're doing day to day in your job than it costs to get a contractor in on an hourly rate to do the refurb of your property, then if you've got no time and your labour, your hours in the week that you have is limited, hi Richard, your labour is limited, then you've got scarce resources straight away on your time. So why on earth would you be spending your time painting and decorating and cleaning if you can get somebody in at a reasonable rate, but because you're a professional in what you do and you earn more money per hour in your own profession, then why would you not do that? If you earn £25 an hour, for example, then you could pay a cleaner to come in at £15 an hour and do the job if you've got no time to do it. You're still clearing £10 an hour in what you're doing. So it makes absolute sense to do that. So that's the importance probably of team. It's getting the right power team round about you when you're investing in property. And that's what I did over the years, and I still do that today. I still look out for good people that are good at what they do, and they'll stick with us. One of the things that we do as an agency for our landlords and investors is a lot of the contractors get tried out in my property first. New contractors. Because if it all goes wrong and they're not as great as they say they are, then it's me that takes the hit on my property. It's not the landlord that takes the hit for that. So we try to minimise that risk as possible for our landlords and our investors when they come on board with us. We make sure we've got the right teams, people that have tried and tested before. But it is an importance of team. At that time, I had a great team, and he was like-minded like me. Hi, Charlotte. He was like-minded like me. Mark was his name. Mark and I started at the same time. He started in property investment. I started in property investment. He started in building and jobs and everything like that. And I only came across because somebody says, "Oh, what about this guy to use?" And then what I did from there is I tried him out, and he was fantastic. We used to call in the middle of the night, 11 o'clock at night, and I used to tell him, right, I need this done, I need that done, I need this done for tomorrow, you need to do this and you need to do that. And so we would have conversations outside of our normal day-to-day business all the time. Morning, Charlotte. And that's what made the difference for me. I did all this outside of what I did, but I had the right team to help me do it. And it was getting that right team round about you. And that comes back to my thoughts yesterday about, you know, what you do inside of your job day to day provides you with a living. What you do outside of your job provides you with a lifestyle. And that's what I've learned from that. And it's getting the right power team round about you. And it means the right contractors. We've got some really good contractors. We'll give a shout out to Sean from Hot Stuff. Getting the right contractors round about you, that's what I've learned. Okay, and getting someone else to help you out. You can't do it all yourself. Joe Strummer, The Clash, I remember this saying when I was at Glastonbury, without people you're nothing. And it's also true, and you could read into what you think, but I think it's all about having a team round about you in order to do that job. And I've got a fantastic team now. God, it's like we can walk on water. I'm no kidding with the team that I've got. Anyway, let's talk about KPIs, one of the most important things. Let's look at Silverburn again. Look. This is the secret garden. Beautiful. Secret garden at Silverburn. Really nice. Anyway, let's talk about KPIs. Everybody talks about gross yield for a property. Oh, gross yield is 6%. Oh, gross yield is 7%. That's all very well, gross yield is 7 and 6%, but that's only if all your cash is left in the deal. So if you're leaving all your money in the deal, then yeah, 6 and 7%. But 6 and 7% doesn't excite me. 25% excites me, return on capital. And that's the key indicator, and I just mentioned it now. It's return on capital. That's really, hi Jimmy, that's really what it's all about. Your KPIs for property investing is about return on capital. And what I mean by that, it's how much money you've got in the deal. If you've got a mortgage, well, say you bought a property for 100,000, okay, let's take an example, make it simplistic. If you've got a deal where you're leaving 25,000 in the deal as a deposit, because it's 75% loan to value, and you're mortgaging 75,000, now you can get great mortgage deals, speak to us about that if you need to, because you're getting something like 2.89 with no arrangement fees for 5 years, interest only deals. Interest only is quite an important one as well for cash flow. Just now, so the KPI is really return on capital, and it's what you've left in the deal. So it's the return on 25,000, the net return. So what are you coming out at the bottom line, net return? That's really what it comes down to. Morning, Gavin. Compared against what you've got left in the deal. I mean, some deals, I speak like one of the typical gurus, eh? You know what a guru is? A fake guru. Somebody who tells everybody he knows what he's doing in property investing, and he's sitting in his bedroom still. And he doesn't have a clue what he's doing. But he'll tell everybody he's great at it. That's a guru. Anyway, I'll get off my high horse about that. Yeah, so it's what you've got left in the deal. And sometimes you've actually got no money in the deal after a period of time. And all your money's out. So effectively you've got an infinite return on capital. Morning, Gavin. Because you've got nothing in. But you're still making money. You still own the property. But you've actually not got any more money in that property. Anyway, I could talk about that forever. It gets me fired up, that. And how you could do that and how you could develop that. And the other most important thing is cash flow. I can't express the importance of having cash flow. Cash is king when it comes to property investing, every single month. And the reason I say cash is king, it's down to the fact that if you've got to help your tenant, say the boiler breaks, you can't just turn around and go, well, I've got no money to fix that. You've got to go and fix it. It's £2,000 to stick a new boiler in, or thereabouts. You have to have £2,000. You can't just go, well, I can't fix it this week. Can you wait 3 weeks? No. You'll not be waiting 3 weeks. That's why cash is king. You've got to make sure you're generating enough cash every single month, so if anything happens to that property, your tenant is kept safe, secure in their environment. You have a duty of care as a landlord to look after your tenant. That's me getting on my soapbox again. So that's the lessons I've learned for today. Teamwork makes the dream work. There's no I in the word team. So the cliche is coming out. And the key performance indicators in property investing. Morning, Sean. The key there is Sean actually. Sean, one of my power team. The key investment criteria in property investing is really, it's return on capital, what you've got left in the deal, and it is cash flow you're generating every single month, so you can make sure you could reinvest in that property if you need to. That's it. That's me for today, my wee rant. And I'll see everybody tomorrow.